So Bitcoin's going to fly to the moon. Well, that's a lot of hype. That's what you're getting on social media. But the question here is, what is Bitcoin really going to do? And how we understand what Bitcoin's going to do is we look at technical analysis. Understand this. On Monday, we had, of course, Salvador take on Bitcoin as their currency for the country. But what happened is the IMF decided to go ahead and manipulate and push Bitcoin down. Now, did we know that that's going to happen before the time? Well, technical analysis helps you understand that. I'm going to show you on the charts today exactly what that looks like. Now, if you have not subscribed to this channel and you would like to get more content and you like the content I'm going to be talking about, go ahead and subscribe, but also smash the like button. If you have anything that you'd like me to go ahead and review, any crypto, go ahead and put that in the comment box and I'll go ahead and follow up on that as well with another video. Now, we're going to talk about technical analysis and how we can understand where Bitcoin's going, where the turning point is in Bitcoins, and when is the next big dump going to take place. It's very important that we do that. Now, my name is Gary Fichardt, and I've been a technical trader for over 25 years. I understand the markets from technical perspectives. Yes, fundamentals help the markets move into these different turning points, but technical analysis helps us to identify where those turning points are going to be, so we can identify where the good buying price is and where a good place is to sell whatever we've bought. So we're going to go into that right now. Now, before we do that, I'll see you right after this. All right, traders, well, welcome back. And yes, we're going to go ahead and dig into the technicals. And I'm going to show you in the chart what the market's going to be doing. I'm going to be looking at Bitcoin, but also I'm going to take a look at the BTC dominance chart because it does have good correlation. And we're going to go ahead and take a look and see if they line up and then whether or not we can understand what's going to happen to Bitcoin. Now, let's go ahead and jump straight into the charts. And I'm going to go ahead and point out a couple of things here that you need to know. Firstly, number one, if we take a look at how Bitcoin, or at least how crypto's market caps have moved, we're up now. Since Monday, we're definitely up around about 2.8% on the market cap. So we are seeing a bit of a recovery from the Monday sell-off. And if you take a look right here, a lot of the altcoins are following suit. As Bitcoin starts moving, we start seeing some better moves out of the altcoins. So the opportunities are definitely in altcoins because they're going to move quicker and they're going to move with bigger rates of return. Bitcoin will move a little slow, but we're going to go into the details of exactly what that looks like. Now, I'm going to go into the BTC dominance chart right here. And what's important for you to understand, my friends, is what this chart is telling us. When we see the BT dominance chart start selling off, all right, when we start seeing it move to the downside, just like we're seeing right here, that means that we're probably going to go ahead and see a little bit stronger Bitcoin. So if you take a look at this big rally that we had right here, it was short-lived. Now, the one thing that is good and great about that is it did exactly what we expected. Look at this. Now, again, if you don't understand technical analysis, you may want to learn a little bit more, and that's the reason why you want to follow me on my YouTube channel, because I talk about these technical setups all the time, and it makes us understand why the markets are doing what it's doing. Yes, there's fundamentals that are adding to it, but the technicals are really helping us to understand it better so we can feel a little bit more calmer about whether the trend is holding or is the trend really breaking. So if we take a look over here, and trust me, believe me when I tell you this, it's not all about trend lines, all right? Trend lines. A lot of people draw trend lines and say, hey, we're still in the trend, we're still in the trend. It's not about the trend lines because we can have what we call a temporary break of a trend line. It's a temporary correction move, all right? And if we see, or let's call it this. This is a better word for it. It's called a temporary break of trend. It's called a there's another word for it. I'm completely blank right now. Man, all right, we'll get back to it. So what we want to do is let's go take a look here on the chart. If we take a look over here, this trend line is holding, but what's happening here in the inside, and I'm going to zoom down a little lower right here, And I want you to look at this right here. The markets move in waves, all right? And so when we look at the market right here, we see that we had a wave structure that dropped back down south. We had it correct itself. Then it dropped back down, and it went all the way down to a 1.618. Listen, traders, this is a fib extension that's very important that traders need to understand. Doesn't matter what chart you're looking at. When we see the market hit the 1.618, we know something's happening. In most cases, and write this down, it is normally a third wave in a wave structure. A third wave based on Elliott wave structure. Now, if a third wave is hit at a 1.618, that means we're looking for a short-term correction move that normally goes up to a 382 bounce or a previous wave one of a previous swing. Now, here is the wave one right here. We marked it off right here. Look what the market went ahead and done. The market rallied up right here, didn't quite get to that previous low, and created a high, then turned around, head back down south. Now, this is the dominance chart, which shows us that Bitcoin is going to lose value when we see this happen. And it's exactly what we had on Monday. Now, what happened? Price moved down. The reason why price is moving down, it's going to complete what we call a fifth wave move. This is what's so important right here that you have to understand. When it's going down to a fifth wave, that means we're going to see some strength in Bitcoin, and it's going to drop back down to here. This is going to be another level where we could see another Bitcoin dump, which means that we're probably going to see Bitcoin losing ground once you start seeing the dominance chart hit this level. Now, let's get to the Bitcoin chart and take a look at Bitcoin and see what it looks like right here. All right, because once it goes ahead and dips down to this level right here, we're then looking for price to go back up and rally back up. Now, I'm going to go to Bitcoin right here. You can see a very close correlation on this. Take a look right here. Can everyone see that we have a wave one structure going up right here? Notice that when we completed this third wave right here at the 1.618, what did Bitcoin do? Now, listen, we knew this before the time. When price got up to this level right here, when price got up to this level, it was time for us to start looking to cash out. At least get out of Bitcoin in the short term because we're expecting price to move down. And when you see Bitcoin move this rapidly, this quick, you know the altcoins are going to fall back down and they're going to move quicker than what Bitcoin is. And you had that on Monday. Now, when we saw Bitcoin dropping back down to this level, is it over for Bitcoin? No, because what's happening is we still have an upside potential move right here. Can you see how price could move up to what we call our 127? This is called our fifth wave. We're expecting price to move up to at least around 57,100. So let's call it 5,700, 57,000. So 57,000 is going to be the next rally for Bitcoin. When it gets to 57,000, a lot of traders are going to believe that this is it. They're going to think this is going to go off to 66,000 to 100,000. They think that's the big move, and it's not. This is where we see Bitcoin stalling. Now, can Bitcoin go past that level? Yes. We're just talking about when we get to 57,000, we need to be very, very cautious. This could mean that taking some money off the table to reinvest it when we see another correction move is maybe a smart move to take. All right. Now, I'm not advocating here that traders should be getting out of Bitcoin and just completely getting themselves. No, I'm just saying prepare yourself. Now, I know there's a lot of investors that have got a long-term outlook on Bitcoin, and I have the same thing, right? I've got a lot of coins that I'm holding, specifically in Ethereum in my case, but I'm holding those coins anticipating a long-term move. I'm expecting Ethereum to go to many, many, many miles up in the air, right? I'm expecting to rally big time. But I'm not looking to trade the cycles with those type of coins, like Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm holding it for long term. I'm more adding to that portfolio. So the altcoins is ultimately where we're making up a lot of our money. You're buying off, you're making plenty 10x, 20x, 5x, 3x on altcoins. So you're making a lot of revenue on altcoins, but then you're using those altcoin cash to go ahead and move that back into the more solid Bitcoin and Ethereum investments, right? You want to go invest in that. But the thing is this. When we get to Bitcoin to 50 right here, when we get to 57,000 on Bitcoin, I'm going to certainly take a look at my altcoins and start cashing out whatever altcoins I'm seeing some good returns in. It's time for us to start getting out of the altcoins. Listen here. Even if we are wrong and Bitcoin continues to rally, and we do see the altcoins rally with it too, there's always going to be a correction move. This idea of the market going to be in a straight rally all the way up, and if whatever you buy now is you're gonna retire in 3 years from now with this huge amount of money out of the altcoins, is not quite the reality that you want to believe in. Because as much as we can make a lot of money from altcoins, we can also lose a lot of money. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are taking profits on our altcoins. And on the correction moves, we'll then re-enter, we'll buy again, and we'll keep investing into Bitcoin and Ethereum as they start strengthening over time and start dipping as well. We'll reinvest in those dips. So looking at the setup right here, I'm going to be very cautious when price gets to 57,000, and I'm going to be cautious on the altcoins. And this does not tell us that Bitcoin's over at that point. It just tells us that Bitcoin is going to look for a corrective move, and all markets correct, whether it's a stock market, whether it's the real estate market, whether it's a currency market. All markets have a correction move. And when those correction moves take place, it's time for us to reposition ourselves and look to reinvest in those, because it means opportunity. In fact, that's how we get to reinvest into these different markets, by using correction moves to get in on the low point. So as the market dips, we buy in on those dips. And it's going to be no different to what we're seeing currently right now with the crypto market. So crypto market is fantastic. But what's important right now is how it sets up. Now, I will be monitoring Bitcoin and the Bitcoin and the other altcoins over the next few months. And I'm going to be posting videos on that. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so you can get the technical perspective, because there's a lot of great conversation out there about altcoins and the crypto market. But there's a lot of hype out there just talking about, hey, this is what I heard, this is what I heard, this is what's going on, this is what I heard. And some of the information is important, but what's going to help you to be able to filter out all the noise and really zone in and focus in on the right entries, right price, right corrections, right crypto, is understanding technicals. And so we'll dig into that. And I welcome people to go ahead and post in the comment and let me know if there's any specific crypto that you would like me to go ahead and take a look at and break it down so that you understand what to do when the time's right. And when it's time to get out, to cash out, what do we need to do for the next entry point? Where do we enter on the next entry point? And all of that can be done by looking at the way the market's set up technically and identifying the market waves. With that being said, I do appreciate you. Show the love and go ahead and smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.